Lisa Hamilton. I love the AI stuff. Mindy, good to see you again. Stefanos, Dan Harker, Dan Hannon, Eric Helm. Look at all of you guys. Kate, my word, so fun. I mean, Kelly's right there with my name underneath her, so don't get confused. That's not Diana. There. Ronnie, great to see you. Priyanka, always. CD, you guys are the first ones in. Natalia, Frank, look at everybody. Joe, Becky, Kate. Oh, Tony's joined us. Great to see you. Judy, Andre, Robert. Okay, well, today it states that bring your listing questions where you're stuck, the conversations you've been meaning to have with sellers. It's about price because, one thing I know, that's what sells houses. 80%, maybe 90% in today's market of your marketing dollars is on the price that you put on it. See, I know one thing, and I use this as an example with some of the sellers. If the home next door right now went up for sale and they were asking for $25,000, would you put an offer in on that home? And of course, everybody says, well, of course I would, for heaven's sakes. And I go, why? And they go, because it's so cheap. I go, yeah, do you think it would sell for $25,000? And they go, well, what do you mean? And I go, well, you would probably be interested in it. I definitely would be interested in it. Probably all your neighbors would be interested in it. And what would start happening? Do you think an auction effect might start taking place? And of course they would say yes. And I would say, so it won't sell for 25,000. What do you think it would sell for? And they said, well, to the highest bidder. And I said, yes, and the highest bidder generally gets to market price. Now, I'm not saying put your home on the market for 25,000 for heaven's sakes. Yet the market determines what it will sell for. Actually, the buyer does, and you, because you determine if you're going to accept the contract. Yet the market sets the price, much like the stock market. As much as I would love to sell my Disney stock at a higher price than what the market says I can, it won't do it. Nobody will buy it. The market is the market. So that's what we're talking about, is the market at the moment. What is it? And are we being so good? Because I've heard this a lot from people. Well, I know it'll sell for that. Well, no. If it sells for that, it would have been sold. No, no, no. I know the comps show me that it will sell for that. Okay, so you're so married to the price as a realtor, you don't want to sell the house. It's almost like, well, I gave him the price and I can't be wrong. And I go, well, why are you giving him the price anyway? Who made you the guru of knowing prices for the marketplace? Are you buying the house? In fact, when a seller would say, well, the other realtor told me they could get more for my house, I said, oh, they put a higher price. And they said, yes. I said, well, are they buying it? And they said, no. I said, well, then they really don't know what it will sell for because they're not the buyer. And then you just let silence do the heavy lifting sometimes. We get so caught up in like, we're supposed to set the price. You know what? I always ask the seller, so based on the comparables, what price do you feel we should put your home on the market for? Let them set the price. And if you have two pieces of paper, which I love the little 3x5 cards, and you scoot them across the table, one for the wife, one for the husband, and you say, just go ahead and individually write down the price based on the comparables that you've seen here. What do you think your home will sell for? And it's very interesting. They have a hard time writing down a really high amount most of the time. There's some that still hang in there, like my home has 6-inch nails in the garage, so it's gonna, holding it together, so it's gonna sell for more. You've seen those types of sellers. And another way is when an agent says that they could get them more money. Um, you know, Many people believe that they should give the listing to the real estate person who gives them the highest price. I mean, I understand. Yet that's not the best way. In fact, you get more money and a quicker sell with fewer hassles when you price it according to the market. Now, it takes a lot of work on my part, yet I can help you select the best price for you. And you do want the most money, right? And they say, right. And so I'm just curious. Did the other agent that's telling you they can get a higher price, did they bring you these comparable market studies? Did they show you these homes? Did they show you, were they able to justify their confidence in that price? Because I'm asking these questions because here's what frightens me, and it really does frighten me. I hate to say it because I work with these people and I am a realtor and so are they. Yet many people will actually take your home at a higher price because let's face it, you're on a great location. You put a sign in front of your yard, buyers are going to call. And just out of curiosity, when you go to look for a home, are you going to look at overpriced listings? Are you going to say, ooh, I want to pay more for the house than the market says? And they always say no. Remember, never ask a question you don't know the answer to, right? You may be shocked once in a while, but most of the time you are not with that statement. They don't want to buy a house that's overpriced. Well, see, other people don't either. Yet that realtor's going to take those buyers and he may even price your home high so he can sell his own listing further down the way where the sellers were realistic with their price. And now he's making money off of your sign, and you're sitting here day after day after day, week after week after week, maybe even months, with people tromping through your home, or worse yet, not even looking at it at all. And yet every day, your wife, you get up. You have to make the bed. You've got to make everything perfect in case somebody comes by. And day after day, the kids are keeping their rooms clean. And pretty soon they start to complain. And I've seen it time and time again where it causes so much discourse in a house. That's what frightens me. I would never do that to somebody. That's why I do the comparable market analysis. And we look at all of these homes and be certain when you're going through that CMA, and don't ever call it, I did a CMA. They don't know what a CMA is, comparative market analysis. As you go through it, ask them, have you been in this home? Because see, if they've been in it and you haven't, they've got the advantage. So you ask them, so what did you think of it? How do you think that home compared to your home? And they'll tell you. And it's generally that what their home has to offer that that home doesn't. And you've got to know. See, agents that do not understand rooms that sell the houses, and what you can add on for. I had two appraisers and I took them to lunch once a month. Went to the same place. They loved this one little Mexican restaurant and we went there every month. Why? Because I wanted to be in their good graces to where if I ever had a problem with the CMA, I could give them a call. And they were fabulous to me. They taught me how to price property. They taught me what people add on for, what people subtract for. And I know people are doing all this stuff with AI and appraisers are using computers, and I get all of that. Yet, are we doing that? Or are we going in not really understanding what is the price range that we will stay at? Because you don't want your sign in front of a home that collects weeds and spider webs on it, for heaven's sakes. We want to make certain that we price it right. And if you ever want to turn somebody down, I'd rather turn you down than let you down. because see, if I take it at overpriced, it's going to sit here. I'll tell you what, if they say, well, I'm going to go with the other person, hey, have them put in the contract that if somebody brings in an offer lower than the price, that they'll make up the difference, that they'll pay you the difference, and then see if they're stuck on that price. Makes a big difference when they start talking that way to a realtor. Will you pay the difference? And all of a sudden the realtor says, well, I'm not over what the price is, you know. See, you sometimes have to back the other person in the corner because you're good. Okay, I've talked a lot. Now, what are some of the comments, concerns, questions, excitements of what you've heard? And what are some of your questions that you've heard? Because in today's market, if the property hasn't sold, it's overpriced. End of story. 2 weeks, no
Dianna,
showings or no offers, it's overpriced. Let's go. Who is that?
Dianna, talk about the paint, the cosmetics, not having the white cabinets, basically a resale home that doesn't look like a model home.
Okay. So what you're doing is you're comparing, are there new homes around the area?
Not well, newer homes that, have the very neutral palette still are not old, yet the the
Their home is
seller
dated. Is that it? Their
dated.
home's a
Yes,
little
yes,
dated.
yes.
Yeah, see, my job is to make sure that people get excited about your home, that other realtors get excited so they show your buyers. And would you be offended if I asked you to spend just a little bit of money to bring your home up to the standard of the other homes? Because, see, we're talking about value versus price, right? Do you understand what I mean by value? Let me give you an example. Let's say you go to a car dealership and you walk in and the car that you really love, it's there, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and they give you a price and you come real close to buying it, yet you think, I'm going to go and look at another dealership because you'd read about it, the same car there. And you go to that dealership, it is the same car. It is absolutely gorgeous. Only this one, oh, this has the Alexa built in. It has where she'll actually read the text back to you as you're driving, right? It is so full of modernization. It even has internet capabilities and it has a moonroof. I mean, you're looking at it, only you don't care about all that stuff. You're not interested. I mean, you're not going to text and drive anyway. Most of the time you leave your phone home. You don't care about a moonroof. After all, sometimes the sun shines so much it can actually make it warmer. You got to close it up anyway. What would you, these cars though are the same price. What would you expect the other dealership to do to get you to buy that car? And they always say, I would expect them to lower the price. I mean, that's logical. I've never had anybody say anything different. So see, the home that offers the best, the most conveniences, the better updated items it's going to sell for more because it has more value. So the only thing we can do is to bring the price down. And don't say, does that make sense? Because then you're not being confident. The only thing we can do is to bring the price down. And then let them speak. I mean, now that silence, when you take the language of sales, the mastery, sales mastery, it's about language patterns. Yet the sales mastery is literally says that they did a study and MIT said that when you allow someone to sit for up to 3 seconds in silence, that is the best negotiation tool there's ever been. How many of you have heard of black swan? Anybody yet? Don't split the
Christopher.
difference. Yeah, there's Stefanos. There you go. It's from a gentleman who was a negotiator for terrorists, right? For hostages, for all these things. And he states over and over again, the silence, the silence. First of all, you got to get on their terms. Do not argue with a seller about price. When they, well, I think I should be able to get 1.5 million. Yeah, but, or not really, or whatever. So don't even answer it. Ask them a question. Mr. Seller, may I ask, what leads you to believe that you can actually get 1.5 million for your home in today's market based upon the comparables that all the buyers will be able to see as well? Then let them defend. You never defend. You always are on the offense, always on the offense. You carry the ball. You're the one presenting. It's their house. They're the ones that answer the questions. See, too many agents get it all messed up. They think they're supposed to present. You're supposed to find out about them. You're supposed to find out about what's important to them. You're serving them. They're not serving you. You're serving them. And people think, well, I got to tell them all about the service that I get. You know, we were at a restaurant the other night. It's a great restaurant. Tony and I were having a good time, and it happened that a realtor actually waited on us or served us. Yet he didn't sit there and say, now, here's how I'm going to serve you. Here's all the things I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that I bring your appetizers out while they're hot, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, he asked us what we wanted. He asked us if everything was okay. They ask you to cut into your steak to make sure it is the temperature and the way that it looks is good and pleasing to you. They're there to serve. I think that's where people get it all messed up. They think they're there to give a presentation. They're there to serve. And if you're not, why are you in real estate? If you're in it for the money, good for you. Nothing wrong with that. I love the money real estate brings. Yet we're paid in direct proportion to the service that we give. So we're there to serve. So if we just say, would you be offended if I asked you to spend a little bit of money in order to get more money, a quicker sell with the fewest problems? Now, I know you're very busy, so here's some things that I could do. I have handymen, painters, people that lay carpet, everything, if that's the direction that you desire to go. Yet, here's what will happen. Can of paint. What do you think a can of paint sells for today, somebody? You can put it in the chat if you want to, or you can just speak up. What does a can of paint sell for in today's market?
$50.
$50. Okay, so a can of paint is $50 in the can, and it could be up to $5,000 on the walls, or $3,000, or whatever you want to say. But I want them to get a comparison. It's $50 in the can, but on the walls, it's going to be X amount. That puts logic into their brain. See, we're always talking. This is the part that people can't do. And I don't know, my screen does not show, it's showing Andrea on my screen. I don't know if you guys can see this brain or not. But
Yes.
that's the big thing.
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
You're
I only see the speakers, so that's good. But this is what we've got. You guys are talking to this part of the brain only, the prefrontal cortex. And yes, it sets us apart from all the other animals and species on the planet. Ours is 40% bigger than any of the others. That's what makes us more intelligent. Yet, see, what most agents don't do is they don't get inside of the brain. there's this little part called the amygdala, the thalamus. I don't want to get into all of this, yet we got to get inside here. We got to get inside where their little emotion sits. Logic makes them think, emotion makes them act. And people are learning scripts from people that don't even understand how the brain works. And that's okay. Yet they're not going to be as effective. See, we've got to bring logic and emotion. We've got to, people move away from pain. Pain and pleasure are the two great forces in our world, and they're very great. Think about yourself. Women, why do we put on makeup? Because the pain of not having it on, we don't like the way we look. So the pain of putting makeup on is less than the pain of how we look without it. Or there are some people, they don't wear makeup. Why? Because the pain of putting the makeup on is more than the pain of going without. Men, you probably don't understand that part of it, yet we all either move towards pleasure or away from pain. And 95 to 97%, depending on the research that you study, move away from pain. So that's why I say, do you really want somebody tromping through your house day after day, week after week, maybe even month after month, getting up, making the bed every day, having the kids having to clean their room, you're screaming at the kids, pick that up. They want to play with their toys out all over the floor. You can't let them do that. I mean, come on, really? So you
Dianna,
got to put some pain.
we
Yes,
have two
ma'am.
questions, one from Chase and then one from Joanna.
Oh, I love questions. Okay, here we go. Thanks for always
Awesome.
watching the chat for me.
So good morning. This is great because I had a seller and we had all the objections. So this is real live rapid fire. So when went through the scripts, went through the comps, and their biggest challenge, of course, is they're looking to downsize. The objections that I got was, that they're looking to use the net proceeds for their retirement. They don't want to have to work at Walmart. They want to downsize, and new construction is much smaller than what I have, and they're selling for more. And of course, the home that they have is about 25, 30 years old compared to new construction. And so when moving them from the quadrants, from what's not working to, negative present to positive future, I keep getting stuck on, they don't know the answer. So we work through, well, what's not working now? Well, I'm having to do repairs and having to fix things and da-da-da. And so what would selling your home do? Will I be able to downsize into a condo? Da-da-da-da. And what would happen if you don't sell? Well, I don't know. And so we're about $50,000 apart on price. And I'm sorry, Legend, stop. I'm sorry. We're about $50,000 away from price, and Legend just had breakfast apparently, and they're getting stuck. They're getting stuck on the pain versus pleasure. They're getting stuck.
Okay,
on
let's go into that. See, we're working, and so cute. I love kids. That took me back to when I was doing real estate and my kids were little. That's so good. So Chase, first of all, I love the fact of how transparent and authentic you are. And is it okay if I just really be a little blunt?
Yes.
Because see, I see this a lot. I've done it myself. We work to solve their objection, not ours, right? And sometimes we don't have to solve that at all. We have to go in from a different angle. It's like if there's a detour, I want you to think they're putting up a roadblock. And when there's a roadblock up, what do you do if you want to get around the roadblock?
Find another route.
You find another way. Exactly. And right now there's a roadblock. And so I always ask, other than that, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if we solve that, are you ready to proceed with me to take your listing? Or are you ready to list with me? However you want to say it. Because I want to know, I don't want to get another roadblock. Because maybe they say, well, as long as your commission is okay, right? Okay. Other than the price and commission, is there any other reason that you would not list your home with me? Now, notice those are embedded commands. List your home with me. Take your listing. You always do that. Okay. So I want to know that. And if they say no, well, what else is there? See, I want all the objections out on the table because I don't know which one I want to go after right now. And if it's price and commission, I go, well, let's handle the price first and then the commission. Will that be okay with you? And they always say yes. So, see, we can put any price on your home, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Yet, first, I got to tell you, it's very hard to get salespeople excited. I mean, and it doesn't make any difference which company takes the listing. The problem is it's the same. It's hard to get salespeople excited. And the salespeople in my office actually know what people are willing to pay for a home in this area, in this condition, at this time. And if I take your listing at this price, well, their reaction is going to be, oh, I'll never show that listing. It's overpriced. Or they'll show your home so they can sell another home. Because see, if your home's overpriced and they go out and show one that's lesser price and in better condition, the people are going to buy it and they're happy. Oh man, you just helped sell another home. Then let's say, I'm going to put it in the multiple listing service. And you know what? Then all the agents in the area see your home. And all those active salespeople at this time, and I love to say active because there will always be somebody that will say it's okay. And all the active salespeople in this area at this time will know that it's overpriced. And they'll do the same thing. They won't get excited and they won't bring their buyers unless it's to help sell another home. On the other hand, when you price your home competitively, I get all the salespeople excited, the people in my office, the people on the multiple listing, and I actually am able to attract buyers. And here's the thing. If you sell it too low, I mean, if you price it too low, we'll have multiple offers. And with multiple offers, the price goes up. The market will always set the price. And Chase, you can actually use if the home next door, if I put it on the market for $25,000 and they go, well, yeah, that's not going to pay for the home that I want. And I go, okay, I understand. When you put your home up for sale, you actually have two very important decisions that you're making. One, the realtor, the person like me, that you decide to list your home with. And the second one is the price. Now you're purchasing something that's brand new or newer, whatever it is, I apologize, something that's newer, and you want to trade in something that's older and get a better price. If there were two cars sitting there and this car was brand new and the other car was a 1984 model, do you think the 1984 model would pay and bring enough that you could buy that new car with that price?
No.
I mean, they're not going to say yes unless they're idiots, and then you don't want to take the listing anyway. And I shouldn't call anybody an idiot. I apologize. They're not logical. I'll say it that way. And so I don't want the listing. If I say you have an older car, you have a newer car, which one's going to sell for more? Well, the new car. Yeah, we can't expect an older car to bring in the price of a new car. And you know what? It says realtor on my card, not magician, hun. I would love to get you that price. My commission is based on your price. Yet I'd rather turn you down than let you down, and I'm not a liar. Oh, you can find an agent that'll come in here and take your listing because they want buyers off the sign, and you can go into that one. Are you seeing how all this kind of intertwines together? And by knowing and understanding various types of objection handlers, you can put them all together, one after another. You can even, if you've done studies, and this is where I think a lot of realtors miss the mark because no one's ever taught them. It's not that they won't do it, nobody's ever taught them to go in. Have you looked at a 1 year study of take a 1,000 homes, and if they're priced at 1 to 3% within that price range that they should sell, how quickly they sell? I think you'll find probably about 85 to 95% sell within the first 2 months, even in a bad market. So when maybe they sell in 30 days. Yet if they're priced 5% over market, how long does it take them to sell, or do they sell at all? See, I think you need to know your numbers, and enough agents doing this. Get together with agents in the area and do that together. Find the study. If you want to stand out, do the study yourself. I literally kept track year after year after year. From 1978, when I started real estate, 77 in November, 78 was my first full year, clear up until 2004 when I became a team leader. I had every single year the median price of the home, how many sold, what percentage sold. People don't do that anymore. And with AI, you should be able to do it really easy. I mean, I just think we're not thinking about real estate and all the different angles. And it's not because we're not good. It's because nobody's ever taught us that. And that's why so many people choose to take sales mastery. These are the things that you're going to learn. Nobody's telling you things like this. And yes, the free call does work, and it's 9:02, and I want to be respectful of your time.
And
But the
last question
market,
from
yeah,
Joanna.
okay, last
Dianna.
question. Here we go.
Hi, Diana. Nice to see you again. Diana, I'm
Hello.
going to go door knocking 2 homes have been that expired, and they were listed at 1 million and a half, I think. So could you give me a little script that I could say to these 2 homes that I'm going to door knock today? They're in my neighborhood.
Okay, excellent. And they're expired listings?
Yes,
Have you spoken with them before, or are you brand new going to the door?
brand new going to the going to the door. I don't have their
Okay.
numbers.
Okay. So when you knock on the door, be certain as they open the door, you take a step back.
Mhm.
That helps their brain unconsciously say, I'm not here to harm you, not here to do anything bad, right?
Mhm.
And then you say, hey, thank you for opening the door. I'm a realtor. My name's Joanna. And if you had a contract on your home, would you still be willing to sell? A lot of people are using the old script.
Yeah.
When are you interested in hiring the right
Yeah, I
agent
was
to
gonna
sell
use
your
that.
home? Yeah, well, no, that's one that worked during
Okay.
those days. Times change, things happen. People don't like aggressive right at the beginning, right?
Hmm.
And so, and they may say yes, they may say no. And well, I'm just curious, if I had a buyer willing to pay a price acceptable to you, would you accept that offer? Well, do you have a buyer? I don't know. I haven't seen your home yet. If I could take a few moments to look at your home, I may have a buyer. Then they can invite you in or not. Doesn't matter. You can still stand there and talk with them. They
Okay.
may even say, why didn't you show my home?
Mhm.
Where were you when my home was on
Yeah.
the market? Well, see, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, in order to sell a house once, we got to sell it twice.
Yeah.
And I learned that one from Jerry Bresser, right? In order to sell a home once, you got to sell it twice.
Mm.
Once to the realtor, and then the realtor sells it to the buyer.
Yeah.
Your agent never sold it to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many homes in the multiple listing service. I don't sit and look at every one of them. That is what sets me apart, however, from other agents. See, I'm on the phones daily.
Yep.
And I'm calling realtors, I'm calling potential buyers for the homes I have listed. And I go to real estate meetings. In fact, we have one in our market center or your office, whatever you call it. And I tell all the other agents about your home and I get them excited so they can get their buyers excited. Can you see how that would be of a benefit to you? We want them to say yes. Were you happy with what the other agent did? Now you already know it's no. We want them to say no. Get some no's out right away because they want to say no. The brain is looking for no. So get a no out. Okay. Does that help you? That'll get you started.
Yes, yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
Diana.
And then just say, it'll only take about 15 minutes. I could come over and do a quick market study for you because I don't know if your home is overpriced or not. I don't know what stopped your home from selling. And I won't know until I see your home and do a quick comparative market analysis. Well, one thing you can assure, I will be honest with you. And if I cannot help you, I'll let you know. The other agent didn't help you. Why were you going to move in the first place? We got to get them back to motivation. Why were you going to move in the first place? What was that going to mean to you and your family? Why was that important to you? What would that do for you? And you feed it back to them. Well, we were going to move to a bigger home. Wow, a bigger home. What would that mean to your family? Oh, we'd have room to do this, and I'd have a gym or whatever, or a study. Wow, why is that important to you? And they tell you. And then you say, what will that do for you? And you do that 3 times. Why is that important to you? What will that do for you? Why is that important to you? What will that do for you? Why is that important to you? What will that ultimately do for you and your family? Now we are getting down to bedrock of motivation. So pricing is big. Go after the price reductions. We can do that another time, obviously, because of time. I trust you got something out of the call today. Put in the chat. And remember, sales mastery is where you're going to be learning all these things. I go into depth as to why we do it, how it affects this little guy right here, why it matters. And Mindy, I know you're not in real estate. My goodness, pretty quick, you're going to be coaching realtors, for heaven's sakes. You're a great coach.
Diana, can you see all the little people? Can you see all the faces on the screen? You
No,
have to find Tyler. You have to find Tyler Wentz.
where is Tyler?
Right
You
here.
have to
Okay.
find Tyler.
I mean, there's so many. I'm going through that. Tyler, I don't know.
I'll come
Start
help
speaking.
you.
If Tyler speaks,
Oh,
I can see
speak,
him.
Tyler, speak.
So if she's wanting to point out the background that I have.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm
This-
telling you, Tyler, I look younger there. I like that.
I don't think you look like you've aged a bit. So this was 2000 family
You're one
reunion
of my favorite
2018.
now, sir. You're one of my favorite now with saying that. Mm, love the background. Thank you so much. That you're fabulous. And I love what you're doing and helping to spread and get that ripple effect going. You know, I just really want to tell you how grateful I am for all of you being on the call. Tony and I love pouring into you, and I don't let him speak much at all. But thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
And